So like, how was that? How was like? How did somebody approach you, or did you just say, hey? How did it come up? Like, hey, John, you want to fight? You met John, you want to fight? Like, how did that even come up to sign the paper?
So, a friend of mine, right, Ivan out at Ocelot, a lot of you guys will know him from Three Crosses, right? He owns Ocelot, and we shoot the shit a lot. I go over there, we do some stuff. I take some of his classes, and he was telling me, man, why don't you fight? I was like, I mean, I kind of want to, but also, what's kind of the point?
Yeah.
And he tried to get me on a few smokers. I was like, yeah. So then he sent me over to this guy, Edgar, the promoter, and he was a guy that worked with, I believe it was Cage Warriors. I don't know if you guys have heard of Cage Warriors.
Yeah, that's an older. I remember that promotion in the Southwest. It was kind of big.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, this guy's legit. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it with somebody legit, right? And that's kind of how it happened. It was Ivan that approached me saying, dude, you should do it.
Yeah.
This is the time.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like when somebody from afar can see the time, the effort that you're putting in, I don't think he would ever lead you to a fight thinking that you couldn't handle yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously you seem like you guys know each other, so it wouldn't be like, hey, you should go fight and like trying to hype you up. You know what I mean? Yeah. To go sign up to get your ass kicked, but it's not like that. And I think that's a good thing too, because I mean, yeah, this is serious. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's amateur, you're gonna find out, once you get in there, who's about it. Because I mean, I can't even imagine stepping into a fight. I've never really had to like fight anybody. You know what I mean? Other than like something's happening, shit's going on. I'm just fucking, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm going one-on-one, like, what's up, dog? I've never, God forbid if I ever have to. I don't want to. You know what I mean? But I can't even imagine being in a sanctioned fight. Like, all right, like, we both signed this paper. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? We both signed this paper. Let's see what fucking happens. And but yeah, it's going to be your first fight. Yep. You know what I mean? So that's cool about the backstory. And I know you've already fighting before. So how did this come up as an opportunity for yourself?
Oh, I was looking for a fight since I got here, and like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's the promoters in the area or the fighters in the area, but like, I would get a fight and I'd get a guy, be like, yeah, I'm gonna call him, cool. Oh, it's good to go. Be like, oh, the guy pulled out. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I've never said no to like anybody that comes across like, hey, you want to fight this guy? You want to do this? I'm like, yeah, bet, I'm down. Cool, whatever. I'll make the weight. And then for whatever reason, it just hasn't stuck around. And then it was like in this card where I did have a guy from Alamogordo, and then he dropped out too. And I was like, same old shit. And then we got this guy here, and then he stuck around. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, finally, I get a fight here, because I'm only here for a year.
Yeah. I mean, you were telling me kind of like why you're here and everything. You don't talk about, but yeah, that's cool. Because fuck, I mean, and this is just like stories that I was telling you the other day too. I've heard of stories of like that because I've known other people that fought or whatever, and it's like that too. I don't know if it's the area or just people just say yes and all of a sudden they say no, and you know what I mean? Because that's terrible to be getting ready for something and somebody just drops out. You know what I mean? Like the time and the effort to, not only just be training and taking care of yourself and weight and everything, and then signing that paper and then somebody says, "I'll fucking," you know what I mean? And that was one thing I had saw a lot of guys that they would have to turn pro early because everybody was dropping out of amateur fights. Or I remember you were telling me too, and that it's funny that you said that the other day. You have to go far.
Yeah.
So I remember some of the guys that, at the time that they were training, like, and this was like fucking 7-8 years ago, at those guys were all taking fights. They were more serious because they were going places. I'm like, you're going all the way the fuck over there. He's like, yeah, dude, that's the only way to get like decent competition and nobody drop out. I'm like, fuck, because he's like, you're the guy coming in to a town that's like kind of like a hotbed for MMA. So, we're not known in this area for it as much yet. But, having to travel and how serious, to have to go out there and, to take the time to go out there and fight. I'm like, fuck. And then if you do fight in this area, like everybody's like, oh, I'm already going pro. I was like, you only fought once or twice? He's like, yeah, but pros guarantee like more, like somebody's more serious. That guy's 0-0 and I'm 0-1. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.